Welcome to the Noon Hour. I'm glad you're here. Grab some coffee or tea, sit back, and relax with me, Noonie. This is the Noon Hour. This week I wanted to share some stories for children from our archives, and I have here a book that actually belonged to my mother and was passed down in our family. It's part of the My Book House series and was published in Chicago in 1937 by Olive Beaupre Miller. Copyright in Great Britain and Ireland, and in all countries subscribing to the Berne Convention. It was registered at Stationers Hall and all rights reserved. It has a series of books, 12 in total, and this first book is children's nursery rhymes and stories, and I thought they were kind of fun and might help us to remember what it was like when we were children and like to be read to. The other thing that I found as an author listening to these is the alliteration and use of repetition in some of the pieces begins to teach rhythm to the ear. And I think this is something that we don't focus on a lot as adult authors in terms of the syntax of how children's stories are written. But I think it can be useful because it's the foundation of poetry and of some kinds of prose. This week I'd like to share a story called The Little Rooster and the Little Hen, a Czechoslovakian folk tale. The footnote states, all countries have the cumulative tales so loved by children, which gather together link by link in rhythmical sequence a chain of events. They go back to an old Chaldean hymn and to the Jewish Passover liturgy. Once upon a time, a little rooster and a little hen went out to the woods to hunt for strawberries, and they agreed to divide with each other all the fruit they found. First, the little hen found a strawberry. Cluck, 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 she called, and when the rooster came, she divided the berry with him. By and by, the little rooster in his turn found a strawberry, but he didn't call cluck, cluck. He gobbled the berry whole to get it all for himself, and the berry was so big it stuck fast in his throat. Try as he would, he could not swallow it. He stretched out his neck, he shook his head, he jumped around on his two little legs, and then he fell flat on the ground, choking and choking and choking. The little hen came running to see how she could help him. Water was what he needed. So the little hen ran to the brook and she cried, "Oh, brook, good brook, please give me a drop of water for my little partner, the rooster. He is lying flat on his back and choking and choking and choking." But the brook said, "I will give you a drop of water when you bring me a leaf from the linden tree." So the little hen ran to the linden tree and cried, "Oh, linden tree, good linden tree, please give me one of your leaves that I may give it to the brook, that the brook may give me some water for my little partner, the rooster, who is lying flat on his back and choking and choking and choking." But the linden tree said, "I will give you a leaf when you bring me a kerchief that the peasant woman is making." So the little hen ran off to the peasant woman and cried, "Oh, woman, good woman, please give me a kerchief that I may give it to the linden tree, that the linden tree may give me a leaf that I may give it to the brook, that the brook may give me some water for my little partner, the rooster, who is lying flat on his back and choking and choking and choking." But the peasant woman said, "I will give you a kerchief when you bring me some silk from the Queen of Saba." So the little hen ran to the queen and cried, "Oh, queen, please give me a bit of silk that I may give it to the woman, that she may give me a kerchief, that I may give it to the linden tree, that the linden tree may give me a leaf, that I may give it to the brook, that the brook may give me some water for my little partner, the rooster, who is lying flat on his back and choking and choking and choking." But the Queen of Saba said, "I'll give you a piece of silk when you bring me a pair of shoes from the shoemaker." So the little hen ran to the shoemaker and cried, "Oh, shoemaker, please give me a pair of shoes that I may give it to the queen, that she may give them a piece of silk, that I may give it to the woman, that she may give me a kerchief, so that I may give it to the linden tree, that the tree may give me a leaf, that I may give it to the brook, that the brook may bring me some water for my little partner the rooster, who is lying flat on his back, choking and choking and choking. But the shoemaker said, I'll give you a pair of shoes when you bring me some cream from the farmer's wife. So the little hen flew to the farmer's wife and cried, Oh, farmer's wife, please give me some cream, that I may give it to the shoemaker, that he may give me a pair of shoes, that I may give them to the queen, that she may give me a bit of silk, that I may give it to the woman, that she may give me a kerchief, that I may give it to the linden tree, that the linden tree may give me a leaf, that I may give it to the brook, that the brook may give me some water for my little partner the rooster, who was lying flat on his back and choking and choking and choking. But the farmer's wife said, I will give you some cream when you bring me a bag full of grass. Well, the little hen was all tired out, but she ran off to the meadow and began to pluck the grass. She filled a whole bag full. Then she dragged the bag of grass away to the farmer's wife, and the farmer's wife gave her the cream. So the little hen gave the cream to the shoemaker, who gave her a pair of shoes. And she took the shoes to the Queen of Saba, who gave her a bit of silk. And she took the bit of silk to the peasant woman, who gave her a kerchief. And she took the kerchief to the linden tree, who gave her a leaf. And she took the leaf to the brook, and then and there the brook gave her that drop of water. The little hen hurried back to the place where she had left the little rooster. He was choking so at that moment he could hardly get his breath. But the little hen dropped the water into his beak, and the water ran down his throat and washed that big strawberry down. Then the little rooster jumped up and flapped his wings for joy. Cock-a-doodle-doo, he cried. But after that, when the little rooster found something good to eat, he divided it with the little hen. That ends this podcast of the Noon Hour. For more information, please visit me on the web at acatherinenoon.com and stay tuned for the next Noon Hour. The Noon Hour is a production of A. Catherine Noon, all rights reserved. It was recorded on an iMac running version 10.7.4 using GarageBand 11 version 6.0.4. The opening jingle is Curtain Call Medium, and the ending jingle is Newborn. Material read and composed by A. Catherine Noon, except where noted.